Hello, everybody, and welcome to Behind the Camera. Here we are with episode 107 of Behind the Camera. As always, before we get into today's show, if you would like to follow Behind the Camera across social media, you can find my Linktree in the description, which will take you to Instagram, TikTok, X, YouTube, and also has the link to where you can buy my book, Behind the Camera, The Journey So Far. This is available in both paperback and ebook, and is free to read if you have Kindle Unlimited. If you also would like to see more of the behind-the-scenes side of the podcast, you can also support the show on Patreon. For £3 a month, you'll get access to extra content, including a Patreon-exclusive series, your name added to the wall of patrons at the end of every episode of Behind the Camera, and much more. But now, getting into today's conversation. So, when I hit 100 episodes of Behind the Camera, I made the promise to myself that I was going to start integrating streamers into the podcast again, just like from the very beginning. And today marks the first streamer I've interviewed on Behind the Camera in over a year. So today we welcome SoberPsycho, George DiPietro, to Behind the Camera to talk his streaming life, the crossovers between online and personal life, collections and reselling, and George's passion for music. Expect chaos, hard truths, and great laughs between friends. But now, here's the interview. George, welcome to Behind the Camera podcast, man. This conversation has been a long time in the making, and it is a pleasure to have you on the show. How are we doing today?
Perfect. I've been waiting for my opportunity to shine. It's been like we talked about it back and forth for like when you first started. It was cool. You were like, "Hey, we should link up." Talked about it, died off.
Yeah.
Talked about it, died off. 6 months later, talked about it, died off. You just had so many people come and go, and I was like, "He's busy. He's got all this clientele. I will wait."
No, and I appreciate that.
We're here now,
That's
bro.
it, man. We are here. And honestly, and I can only apologize for that because it's one of those things I think that I've learned myself as a podcaster where my schedule, my routine is my own, and it's like I can manage that how I sort of see fit. And I think that's an important lesson for anybody kind of, anybody with an online presence to sort of learn, is because it is your own. Obviously, you will get people come to you looking for different things, but ultimately you've got to take control of it and kind of work things in as and when you want to. But yeah, like we say, we're here now, and I've been looking forward to this for a long time. So as a streamer, you stream as SoberPsycho, have done for the last number of years, and you've had quite the journey as a streamer. So let's talk about that first. Let's go from the OG SoberPsycho days, like we're talking pre-COVID roughly, and obviously things are a lot different now, but let's go back to the very, very beginning of SoberPsycho.
Oh boy, I think this was all just kind of when it all kind of began for me. If it's an origin story, like, as you know, because we're close, music was a thing. It was my way to get out there. And I was told by Jen, we all know who Jen is, my situation with her, as we know. She's full of great ideas. Absolutely the brains behind the brawn type shit. And literally, she's like, "Hey, you know what? TikTok is big right now. Put yourself out there." And when I first was looking to do, not even SoberPsycho, I didn't even have a gamer tag or nothing. I was just George. I'm going to be a musician on TikTok. And at that time, you needed to have 1,000 followers.
Yeah.
I joined to do that so I could do music. And I'll tell you, the first thing I saw, here's the origin story behind SoberPsycho. As you guys know, I'm a collector. And I mean, the collection wasn't this big. It's continued to grow in the last 6 years of doing this. But there is this dude, I don't know, you must know him too, because you're a retro gamer. What is it, 1980s gamer? That Nintendo dude who plays the Napoleon Dynamite character as well. Tell me you know him.
Yes. I'm familiar.
Yes, he's got multiple millions of people now. Like, oh, good to eat your food. That guy. So when I saw that he had like 1 point something million followers off the rip, and there was not even like live content to be a streamer at that time, I was like, I also love video games, and it just completely split me. Like, I wanted to do music, but I realized that would catch more attention right off the rip because music's always kind of a process, you know, like
Yeah.
stages come and like for me, the fire's there, the fire disappears. The fire's there, the fire disappears. That the only thing that was consistent was my love and my passion for my job and video game collecting, which at the time reselling video games was me. So everything just kind of circled and forced itself around video games. And obviously I love playing them. Only two of them, obviously, but it doesn't matter. The fact of the matter was I saw that that was a way to engage. I've always wanted to have a camera in front of me. I've always wanted to have an audience to entertain. So when SoberPsycho came about, that was the account that actually I didn't care for his content. I didn't follow, but I saw that there was a chance for video games to be something.
Yeah.
And I just saw it and I was like, let me do a video or two of showing my game room. People cared. It spiked a little bit of interest. And actually, I have a lot of people that I watch now who I love are other big creators for content with collections. And one of them is that dude who games. That's Sam. Fucking love him. You got Angry Gamer Rick. He is one of my buddies. His collections behind him. Like these still bring me the enjoyment because we're like very similar with that.
Yeah.
And I used to do this before they did. Well, Rick never does it, but Sam is huge on it now, where I would have my camera and people, like, I got so many people in here being like, do you have this game? Do you have this game? And I was just 6 hours, Andy, a fucking day. Like, literally just like, yo, look, I got this game over here. Well, let me see Def Jam, Fight for New York. Let me see Conkers. And I'm just running around my room pulling games out. So before I even played the games, I showed the games, you know?
Yeah.
And then one day somebody's like, hey, do you actually play them? And I was like, well, yeah. And then it all started with Zelda, and then it turned into Mario 64, and whoops. Oh, man. Yeah, the origin story is literally just that. Like, it was supposed to be music because that's my biggest passion. I have a big spot in my heart for it. But at the same token, I go so wishy-washy, man. If things aren't going the way I want them to, I'm so quick to say fucking reset and like figure something new out or bring something that's attentive to other people that just they can cling to. And while music is diverse for everyone, and you know that, it seems like video games being built for you to bring a common passion was just easier than saying, oh, well, this guy doesn't like my music or she doesn't. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. Yeah, of course, because like I think with music content, like there is somewhat of a nostalgia factor, but I don't think it really adds up to the nostalgia that you would get with the video games, because more people will probably be into the sort of same video games around the time, and then there's the kind of the popularity factor with the niche as well. So was it around COVID time? Was that when you started to get into, or was it before for streaming?
It was after COVID.
After COVID, yeah.
Yeah, it was, Jesus, 2021 is when I started live streaming. I was making clips here and there because my father passed away in 2020, and I wasn't doing this while he was alive. So I always gauge that. I can't remember the exact month that it all kind of came together. But it was like, I want to say summertime of 2021, maybe a year after he had passed.
But that's still quite an early time to get into it, because obviously before that, streaming was more or less Twitch and YouTube. TikTok obviously was quite late to the game, but really
that's all strangled. If you're not in right off the rip, you're grandfathered into that, and like TikTok didn't have it yet, so I got lucky.
100%. Yeah, absolutely, because even on the sort of the music side of that, if you do music streams right now, like you're probably compared to like 2021, you're probably more likely to get some traction with music streams compared to like 5 years ago, because it was all bands that were doing that. Bands were doing live streams. They were doing all sorts of things because they couldn't perform. So the attention for music was drawn towards these bands who could not be on the stage. And the video gaming, that sort of made like a very, very quiet introduction into TikTok live streaming. And then by late 2022, it completely like taken off. It was, because obviously, you touched on Mario 64, and people who've been listening to Behind the Camera from the very beginning will know that there was a very, very heavy focus on Mario 64 streamers. you'll kind of know how like the sort of depth that it kind of went into. And
Oh yeah.
like, so so like I say, it's probably safe to say one of the OGs on TikTok, Mario 64 now. You and I run in very similar circles. And at what point did that sort of change for you, that
The
Mario
viewership.
64 was just not it?
So it started off being it. So that's what
Mm.
made it so easy was, oh my God, I grew up with this game. Oh my God, the nostalgia. You still hear it now in 2026. Because don't forget, people then that were 5 years younger might have still been like, oh, I don't know, 18 to 21 and saying, I'm going to
Yeah.
download TikTok. And now there's still, it's never going to stop. TikTok's huge. So you have those 13-year-olds from back then that are now 18, 21, getting privileges to go on, being like, holy crap, I thought this game would never resurface.
Yeah.
So that's never going to stop. Nostalgia factor is heavy if it's like a life-changing game like Mario 64. So there'll always be like a reset, and it will always keep flowing with nostalgia factor. That game is don't air this. That game is fantastic. Okay, fuck that game, but that game is fantastic for all the wrong reasons. And no matter what, you're always going to have these new people. And I still go watch my friends that still stream it.
Mhm.
Bryce, Hawk, all these guys that are still doing it. And I can't imagine it goes longer than one stream a night where somebody doesn't pop in and say, "Oh my god, right in my nostalgia,"
Yeah.
like all the time, all the time. It's always coming in and going, and it will never stop because this game had such an impact. But it wasn't supposed to be this, Andy. It wasn't supposed to be based around that. Bro, I'm going to move my camera. I still have it all. Mario. I've got freaking everything Mario in here because that's what we had.
Mhm.
We had built it was a community built around midlife people that liked nostalgic
Yeah.
games, and then you put a timer on the screen.
Yeah, and like, because I that's the sort of the real common theme with Mario 64 speedrun is just it's that sense of nostalgia. People are always going to come in, like you say, like 5 years later to this day, people are still like, oh my god, people still play this game. It's like, yeah, and
Yeah.
so like it wasn't meant to be it. The collection side of it was meant to be it. That was meant to be so like. Is collecting something that you've always done? Like, has that always been like, and is that just sort of as like a sort of buy and resell, or did you just collect as a hobby before?
So that's a great question because originally it was supposed to just be more for the collecting aspect. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't supposed to be a job, but I knew I could also play it smart because I have business sense where if you want a game, don't just buy the game because you lose $60.
Yeah.
And maybe it will be worth 40 down the line, 20 down the line, 60, 100, depends on how much that game lands. Or you could just wait until somebody's ready to just sell all their stuff because they need money. You buy it, take the pieces you want, reflip those, make money and games for free. Like there's no better way to go about it. Everyone wins. They get money for all their stuff they're not going to use. You're going to use it and sell the stuff you're not going to use. It's turned into a business when I realized how much money was in the gig.
Yeah.
So, and the best part is I still to this day am a collector at heart, but I know I need to make my money as a reseller. My job title to me is reseller.
Yeah.
So, but I will not 95% of the time, I have to have my hands into something where I'm going to get something to put away as well. I'm not just going to go out there and always just steal because the price is right from other collectors too. I don't like doing that, but if I know I can make an absolute buttload of money, sometimes I have to be that jerk.
No, of
You have to step
course.
in.
But yeah,
But I try not to do
absolutely.
it all the time.
But like, I think with that sort of job, you have to. One thing you sort of like have to understand is the value of what it is that
Right.
you're buying and selling. And so, do you then categorize things into things that you want for yourself, things that you can sell for sort of quick good
Oh, yeah.
value, and then also things for like a rainy day? Would that be the sort of way you would categorize everything?
Bro, it's like you got in there and you've got your compartments for what I do with this. That's so crazy. So there's things that I will like literally, because I've been doing this now. as a job since 2020. That's the COVID story.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing the reselling without having to get a job back on the books. I mean, I pay taxes, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
I
yeah, of
work for
course, of
me.
course.
Um, Prior to that, and now back into where I'm at now. So yes, if I look at a lot, I'm so locked in on what the market is. Even during the changes, I do it for a living. I have to know where these prices are. So when something on Marketplace, that's where I do a majority of my shopping. Um, when I click a picture and it's up for like 5 minutes and I know I'm going to make money, I have to click that damn button and know what I'm looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Or somebody else who's doing it just like me is going to fucking take it away from me or jump the price up. And I'll know what I'm looking at prior to. I'm going to be like, okay, I want that game. I need that manual for this box. This game is running for 200, but he wants 100. I'm already 100 in the profit with 15 more games, a $200 system. The math is just like, it's there. I am so good at what I do that when I'm acting, I can even throw out a spicier offer.
Mm-hmm.
I want $200. Well, I'll give you fucking 400 and put myself right to the top of that list because ain't nobody else going to go out there and double that offer. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm that guy where I'm not looking for $1 million every single time.
Yeah.
I will cut some loss. I will cut some fat as long as I'm going to make a good enough money. If I can't double my money now, whereas before, if I can make 40, $50, I'd be like, cool. Now, if I can't at least double my money, I can't fathom with the gas prices and stuff.
Yeah.
It's different. I got to make a number that makes sense. But
Mm-hmm.
yes, there is I will give this as a giveaway for SoberPsycho streams, or like another prime example. I love Juan. He's graduating. What would be a perfect graduation gift? You know, like just to give back to people that means something to me. Keep for my daughter. Like she has her own little collection. Stuff I'm going to, and here's the best part, stuff that I know will fly off eBay like this.
Yeah.
Just boom. The moment it's up, I know this list is golden. Clean these first. Prep these up. Here's the other stuff I'll probably sell as bulk. Here's the systems. You know, I will take one great game, bulk games in a system just to make the system fly. I know how to package deals so people can't say no, you know?
Sure, yeah.
It's so fast up here, and I'm very proud of it. And that's why I appreciate people knowing I do good service, because I'm not going to be DK oldies and all this crap and run people into the fucking ground. If I have a $300 game and I'm already in the profit, I'll sell it to somebody who wants it for 200. I don't care. You know,
Yeah.
I'm already winning.
For
Doesn't
sure.
matter.
Yeah. I think that's like a real solid mentality to have about it, because it's like, it's like understand. It's like we mentioned before, understanding and knowing the value of what it is, because you can. I've all this in video games, especially. You know, if it's not undervalued, it's overvalued like massively. And do you think though, like as a result of COVID, now like this is something that I've kind of picked up on more in recent years in comparisons, like the early 2020s, are people sort of understanding the value of video games more now that more people are playing? Now, surely that makes it easier in some aspects to sell games for a higher profit, but at the same time, it feels like more and more people are kind of catching on.
And that's the problem, because there has been in the last year or two the stress of, well, I mean, not only being a stay-at-home dad now to take care of my daughter, the lots are fewer and far between with what people don't know what they have. You know what I'm saying? And like, kind of have to, if you want to do this for a living, you have to have the knowledge and also realize there are other people out there just like you trying to make a living off this too. And it sucks to have to like hate that part of it, but you have to stay away. When you see something that makes mathematical sense, goodbye. Okay, this guy has $350 worth of shit. He's trying to sell it for 300. I'm not even going to bother, because that guy's not going to get talked down. He knows what he has. He's doing the same business that I'm doing. You have to see somebody that has a copy of Zelda and like Ninja Turtles and Paperboy, and they want $600, and you're like, those games are worth 15 a piece. I'll give you 5 a piece. And they'll be like, I had no idea. Sure, come get it. It's like you said, way overpriced. Those people just think nostalgia. Don't be afraid to hit that button and inquire. When you see an astronomically stupid number, they're just not informed. That means they didn't do the research, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Because like I remember early COVID, I started a mini collection of like, it was more so video games that I wanted that I never had as a kid that I kind of wanted, like mainly for
Right.
N64. And I remember there were some games that I bought and they probably would have been the equivalent of about, so £10 would have been about $17 or something like that.
Yeah.
Like Blast Core was one of them on the N64, and I
Oh my.
wouldn't pay that for it today. But
No,
you know,
it's got value. It's got value, but it's not a
yeah.
game that holds up either.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
exactly, yeah, and but the one for me, well, two for me that were so elusive because nobody was selling them because I think that it was just a lot rare was Banjo Tooie. And I managed to get a PAL copy of that. Now, obviously, bear in mind the difference between PAL and NTSC. PAL's a lot sort of
It's cheaper.
English language copies of PAL because you've got like sort of French, Italian, German, etc., all
Right,
over.
right.
So like there's a lot more copies of different languages. But yeah,
Yes.
PAL English speaking PAL copy Banjo Kazooie, and I think I paid somewhere roughly in the region of $80 for about 53 to £58. Now this was 2020, and I feel like now
Oh,
it would probably go for way more than that.
I feel like you may have been fleeced at that time because the
Maybe.
games. So okay, so now here's the deal. COVID really spiked everything. Those stimulus checks that made the.
Yeah.
Right. You take swearing off, right? So try and avoid swearing, right?
Go for it, man. I give a fuck.
I can swear. Fuck yeah. Okay. So COVID stimulus checks fucked the industry sideways.
Yeah.
And the prime example to that before COVID, and this is just to touch on why I think you got fucked. I had a copy of Chibi Robo. Chibi
Mhm.
Robo is now considered like a mid-grail game. It's not a holy grail, but it's like a very offshoot game where you're a little robot and you clean some dude's bedroom and house and shit. And it was an obscure game. Now, when I got it in price charting, which is what I use, had it at like $60, maybe 80,
Mhm.
and I got it probably in like so 2019 and like probably like November of 2019. And at that time, I think I spent $60 on a GameCube lot. Came with that game, two other games. I put that away because I was like, oh, price charting says $60, $80 game. Let me put that away. COVID happens, that game instantly turned into like $180 game. Like that's the game that I realized COVID fucked the whole world up because
Yeah.
everything jumped. Everyone's indoors. Like fucking people were making stimulus checks and they're like, oh well, I still have my income as a fucking this, that, or whatever. I'm gonna use that stimulus on shit. And the video game world turned upside down.
It's interesting.
So if you got Banjo Tooie and Banjo Kazooie pre-COVID, it should have been like a $15-$20 game a piece. So I feel like you were
Wow.
fleeced.
Really? For
After
Tui as
COVID,
well. So
yep,
the only reason, because I had looked for it for a good few years, and I don't know if it was just a case where outside of like official secondhand stores, like we have like chains of stores that would potentially
right.
sell them, but for independent sellers, I don't know if it was a case where nobody was selling it or if it was just that limited. And because another
Oh,
one that I got was
desirable games. So
mhm,
that's always it's going to maintain that like
yeah,
Mario 64 feel for people. So you can still have that kind of market on it.
yeah.
So because of the title behind it, but yeah, continue.
No, of
Sorry.
course, no, of course, of course. But the other game that kind of I this is the most money I've spent on a video game, Mario Party 3. And again, the whole
Great game.
regional thing, a fantastic game. The whole
Yeah.
regional side of it, and it was 93, 93 British pounds, which is probably I want to say about 160, $165.
Fucking game only.
Game only. And like again, we're talking all these different nuances here, but this is what's got me thinking. Like I think it was to do with the fact not many people were selling it. But then if you look at it now, I know I'm kind of contradicting myself, but like now it's like if you get games like that are going for that 6 years ago, but if you have more people selling it and it's more widely available, is that going to drive the value down in terms
Yeah.
of sellable?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rarity is the what is the main fucking situation for any game is like, can I get my hands on it? And if you went on eBay right now, you'd be flooded with Mario Party 3s. They're
Yeah.
they're not a one-off. It's a Mario Party 1 was fantastic. Mario Party 2 is god tier. And then those were super successful. Mario Party 3, they obviously made fucking trillions of copies because now you have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
Yeah.
9, 10. So it's not for the sake of it being rare. Maybe people would hang on to it because that's a game you don't want to get rid of. It's fantastic. And
Yeah.
if you do, it's because it's bundled with a system and you're just selling it off. Nobody in their collection goes, I'm going to get rid of Mario Party 3. Just not going to happen.
No.
But
No. Absolutely not.
wow, $160, bro.
Yeah, roughly, yeah. Like
It hurts
but this is what's got me curious though about like the the regional differences between it, because like interestingly enough, if I wanted to buy an NTSC copy of whether it's Japanese or American of an N64 game, of most N64 games, like
Yeah.
well, to give you an example, I paid for Mario 64 Japanese version, I paid like $15 equivalent. Something like that.
15 in for
Like
American?
15, like, yeah, 15 American, maybe.
Mario 64, that's a snag.
Yeah, like maybe up to 20. But see, on
That's
like,
a snag. That's a
on,
big deal.
but like on UK eBay, that's the sort of general going rate. So this is why I'm very curious and very interested in like the sort of regional differences, because I mean, I
Right.
guess the production is obviously a lot wider in the States.
Right.
And
Right.
obviously for the UK, it'd be a little bit more limited because see all the other European N64 games, like not that they weren't region locked, but they were language locked.
Right.
So
yeah, I do know that.
I bought a copy of A Bug's Life on the N64, and here's me thinking, oh, this was a steal. £8 it cost me, so roughly $13, and it's in Italian, and I can't change the fucking language.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Here's me not knowing because again, you said you paid what 90 to 100
£93 for was this
Mario
for
Party.
Mario Party? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the PAL version, and it is higher than American. So for American, it's always been 45 to 65, right there.
Okay.
It doesn't jump outside that realm. That is the money. That is where it goes. So when I looked at your PAL one, because I use the website pricecharting.com,
Mm-hmm.
and I looked at the PAL version, historical prices has always been right around 75 to 100 for PAL. So I couldn't tell you why it's more expensive.
Wow.
It's not very often that shit happens, but it does happen.
That's interesting.
American is usually where the money maintains. So I stand corrected on that because for the going rate for a PAL, it looks like you were right in that window. So
yeah, well, still was a hell of a lot of money to spend on a game, but like one of those ones where it was just so worth it and like affordable at the time, given living at home, it was
That's why when I can compartmentalize when you said it, when you look at this, what's this going on?
Yeah.
Rainy days, this, that. So a Mario Party 3, if I see it, I know that's going to go right to somebody like this guy right up this way. Hello? Where's my thumb? Over here. This guy. He's like, I don't give a fuck, man. I got to have it. There are so many of Andy's out there. They got to have those games, man.
Yeah.
And I know that. So when I see a title like that, I know that it's going to fly off the shelf in no later than 2 days. And that is a great investment piece. So those are the games you want to look for in the gig that I do. You want those titles where it hit you right here. Not like a one-off, Blast Corps. Sure, you might have had fun, but it's not, you don't hear a fucking community being like, Blast Corps. It doesn't work like that. So it may be another fun game that sits maybe a week or two because people go like, oh yeah, that was a fucking game, wasn't it? Whereas the ones that you had your friends over, you couldn't go a weekend without playing,
yeah.
Game-changing games. And that is why I love what I do now. It is the fact that I have that knowledge, I have the receipts, I have the eBay store, the connections I've built. It's crazy because even when I have people that will on here, even on TikTok, be like, hey, help me find XYZ. And I'm like, you're no different than anyone else. There's going to be a list. I need Conkers. I need Banjo. And it's like, all right, well, you're number 4 on this list. You're number 5. It happens. People want these games. And it's no surprise. The moment they come in is the moment they go out, and that's why I love what I took it in. I absorbed the industry, and I was able to be profitable, understanding, and respectful back to the industry, all in the same manner. I take a huge pride in it, you know?
For sure. And like I love that because it's like, you've got this undying passion for video games, and like you're so deeply immersed into the world of it, and like, but then the knowledge that comes with it of like, understanding the value, what's going to go, what people are going to want, and really kind of what drives nostalgia ultimately in this day and age. Like, and there's so much to it. Like it's honestly, I think it's something that the sort of casual player doesn't really understand, because we take Mario 64 being the sort of golden example of that. That is a game that is probably, because of its popularity right now, that's a game that's probably never going to be the most valuable game in the world. That will probably be mid to lower tier, probably more lower tier in terms of value, because it's, I mean, I don't know how high would you say it's one of the most resold games going at the moment?
If you ever sell an N64, somebody has to have that game. End of story. Like I sold my N64 when I was 18, when I went to college, and now I'm out and I'm 35 and have my career job and I have career money. It's like I want to go back and be a child again. What made me feel like a child? You did not play Mario 64. The fucking end. Like everyone had it, and if you didn't, you probably should have got your ass kicked. The end, all right? Everyone played that fucking game. So like when it hits you in the fucking in the heart, you don't sit on it long. It's such an easy fucking sell. It sells itself. It did it for years, and you see communities all about these games. And again, you get the new people in that are like, well, oh, Dad, I'm watching this streamer who's playing this for my 18th, 17th, 16th, 14th birthday. Can I get an N64? I've been watching Mario. It will never die, especially a name like Mario, Zelda, anything big. But here's where it's a little crazy, because I know you love, your Halos and stuff like that too. This is wild, okay? You would think that Halo, Call of Duties, what's another good one? Like Gears of Wars.
Yeah.
These were epitome of Xbox 360 and PS3. Those games I avoided at all cost. They were fucking overly produced. You can find them anywhere at garage sales. They're literally games that, sure, you lived and loved, but like when the game got scratched, it's no good. Like you can't do that with cartridge. You'd really have to hate that game in order to break a cartridge. Mario 64. And literally you can sneeze on a disc and it needs to be resurfaced. So that was also a reason why people had to mass produce disc games and shit, is like damages, and it's like the video game world was still feeling it out. Nintendo, Super Nintendo, up until I want to say maybe like PS2, that's when the world realized video games was going to take over the fucking world. Like anything post PS2, it's like, sure, they were mass produced, but that's what kind of made gaming what it is today. Grandfathered the idea of how sick we fucking are about playing fantasy games instead of being real people in a world. Like, they're like, we got these little fuckers. Now let's just fucking take over. It's just games everywhere. But post PS2 is where I swear, if you like Google this shit, you'll see just the amounts of copies and intake. I'm going to just spitball an idea, and I have no idea if I'm right, but you could say 20 million copies of fucking Mario Party 3 to 150 million copies of fucking Call of Duty 3. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just went like this. Like out of control, the shift. So,
do you know, it makes sense what you're saying, because like, well, okay, ask yourself this, right? So PS3 is 20 years old next year, I believe, in 2027. And, I know the PS2 has 6 years on it, but in the next sort of 5 years, do you see PS3 as being a retro console in the same way that a PS2 is now?
We can't justify that because we're already past our niche. Our
Yeah.
niche was N64. It's for the next generations to decide. That's
Okay.
not for us.
Fair
You know what
enough.
I'm
Fair
saying?
enough. Yeah. Yeah. It's
When you're-
interesting.
why? How long ago did you buy Mario Party 3? A couple of years ago?
6 years ago.
6 years. So you were late 20s to mid 30s, right in that window,
Late 20s. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
There you go. So you had an adult job with adult money.
Mm.
Couldn't do it when you were a kid still. You're like, I'd like to have the game, but I'm not tied into something that's giving me the lifestyle where I feel financially fit to pay $10 trillion for one game. Good job, Andy. Anyway, like that's what it is like
That's a good
PS3 could be the next step, but we can't make that call. I'd say
Right.
it's on the cusp of being considered retro,
Yeah.
but I don't think the value will spike
Yeah.
because of production.
Okay.
So
Yeah. That's the production side was exactly why I was
right.
curious about that because, like, I mean, but everything you said there is a very, very good point because, like, to me, PS2 I would say is borderline retro for me, especially
Oh, it
early
is.
PS2. Like, yeah, and that's because, fuck, I was 7 when the PS2
Yeah.
came out, and then 13 whenever. It's the same way I could never consider the Wii to be retro, even though I was still so young. It's
So weird.
still it's
I feel like that's like the one that's in the gray area, but it totally is.
but
It totally is a retro system.
the Wii was, I think the Wii was revolutionary, man. Like, I think the Wii was like, so I'm like, this is not, well, listen, because this is exactly, that sort of thing. Now, obviously, you take away the over exaggerated movements that the advertisements,
Yeah.
made you believe you had to do. But so obviously, the Wii wasn't the first console to introduce motion technology. That was it was the you had the PlayStation with the iToy, Xbox
Yep.
Kinect.
Yep.
But the Wii almost revolutionized it a little bit and made it kind of more
They
mainstream.
perfected it. They
Yeah,
perfected it.
yeah, exactly. And
That sensor bar was a game changer.
yeah, so I kind of think in terms of that, the Wii, I think will probably, again, because of the mass production for all future consoles from 2007 onwards, bar handhelds, it's gonna, they'll be retro by time, but not necessarily by value. But
Or
like, it's oh man, it's but yeah, I would say in terms of sort of, I would probably see the Wii first as a more of a retro console compared to the PlayStation. Yeah, yeah.
Now I'm going to change your mind on something too, but it's all in the same bag, right?
Okay.
So you can't even. I'm going to just try and say what is in my heart about the Wii. I don't like the Wii.
Fair.
Okay, but I will tell you, it wasn't the Wii that changed the world. It was fucking Wii Sports. Because if you didn't have Wii Sports, you wouldn't have known what the Wii could even do.
Agreed.
Because I tried playing fucking Twilight Princess on the Wii, and I will never do that again. I didn't like holding the shield like this while swinging my sword. I just wanted to do it like this. But when I fucking stand up there with my Wiimote and swing, like for baseball or fucking golf, and I have to putt, that is different type of activity towards it. And that's a hill I might stand on alone, but I'm telling you, it wasn't the Wii, because they made some really shitty games for the Wii movements and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It was Wii Sports that revolutionized where handheld shit went.
No, do you know, I agree. I agree because Wii Sports was that was the bread and butter of the Nintendo Wii. But also from a sort of personal standpoint, I would, when I, again, going through that kind of collector phase, like back in COVID, I would have went into any shop, looked at a copy of a Wii game and thought, okay, then I would have turned it around and it would have told you the controller compatibility, and
right.
Any game that was just Wii controls, like with the motion controls, I was like, no.
Yeah.
I'm a fan for them. I'm a fan of the motion controls, but I like the option to just use it as because I'm from before that era, and I don't want to sort of unless I'm doing something that's, I mean, I'll save that for VR. which is, you know, again,
Exactly, dude. And that's where we are now. It's like
yeah,
it's cool, but like we're old school, bro. Like
yeah,
I like being able to just sit there and have it all and be a lazy fat ass and not move myself from my perched little position. You know, like I like certain games, and it ain't very fucking much. It's Wii Sports. Like when I played a couple of VR games on like the VR 1 and 2 for the PlayStation,
hmm,
some games can really land.
yeah,
But then, like the prime example for me, and I might be on this hill again alone, Twilight Princess can suck a fuck because that game sucks on the Wii. It is so much better on the GameCube. And it's like, I don't want to be Link. I want to be Link, but I don't want to be Link.
yeah.
You know,
Oh, I feel you,
it's
man. I feel you.
crazy. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think. Then hear me out on this. Imagine Fortnite on VR. That'd be fucking wildly
it
cool.
would be. Yeah, like I'm
Hard to
surprised that there isn't a platform for that yet. Like, I mean, I've never even heard of there being like a mod for it on PC.
Right. It would be nuts because, I mean, they were able to do it with Among Us, but that's a very small game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Whereas you have a giant map of Fortnite or like Call of Duty, a map, that'd be like playing paintball in VR. You know what I'm saying? It'd be
Mm.
fun as fuck. So I would do, listen, if they did that, man, I would get one of those standalone things where you could walk those 6-axis pads or whatever,
Aye.
where you could stand on it in your harness with your gun.
Oh yeah.
And like, I would try it. I would spend stupid money to figure it out. And if I hated it, I'm a reseller. I'd get rid of it quick. Oh, no, I don't need this shit. But like, I probably would love it and be addicted. I think the problem with it is like the memory size or like the
Aye.
programming and how glitchy it will be for very long till they can perfect a real technology that can handle
Of
it.
course, of
So
course. No, it's
that would
fair.
be that would be revolutionary, dude.
Absolutely. You know, and you know, you touched on Fortnite there because that's something you've been streaming recently. I kind of want to like touch back on the streaming side of things for you for a sec. And
Sure.
so, you know, we mentioned at the start, you know, your streaming journey has kind of been very, very interesting. So you got to a point, you know, in the OG SoberPsycho account, you know, over 40,000 followers, I believe, and you know, it just one day kind of all came to a halt because of TikTok and their sort of, yeah, well, I mean, I'll let you tell the story, of course.
Yeah. Okay. So you do know the origin story behind it. I'm not going to say the words because you're going to post this on TikTok. So I'm not going to get your trigger words. Let's just say what my channel was and still is I'm off the cuff. I just speak whatever verbal diarrhea comes to this tiny peanut brain. It's like, just say it. Like, it's not bright. It's a bad thing, but it's why people love me because you know you're not going to get a fake me ever. If
Mhm.
I'm feeling something, it's gone. And I can't just be like, ugh, it's already gone. It's in the atmosphere. Um, Dude, we worked our ass off. Like, and it wasn't
Yeah.
just me. I have so many people to thank for the original Sober Psycho account, like just promoting me and pushing me and moderating for me and building for me. And I feel like I let everyone down when the America band came, what, January 19th of 2024?
Yeah.
Sound about right? It's been 2 years. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
gonna
it's
be,
been over 2 years now, yeah.
yeah, 2 years now. Um, yeah, that sucked. That was it last year? I'm trying to remember. No, it might have been last year. It might
Oh,
have
was
been
it last year?
2025.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was last year, 2025.
Wow.
Because Trump was in presidency. So,
Oh, okay.
uh, yeah, terrible. Because again, everything about TikTok, I want to be. Don't get it twisted. I want to be dedicated to this platform because it helped me get people like you in my life. I would have never
Mhm.
had this if it wasn't for TikTok. I'm a very thankful guy. But when it comes to it, and this is where I differentiate from a lot of people that use TikTok for different reasons. So this is why it makes sense to me. I don't give a fuck about your money. Don't want your money. I want your love. I'm a passionate guy. If I can't make money working, then I don't deserve your fucking money that you're working for. It's as simple as that. I like just want to come up here, want to vibe with people, meet people, be a personality that people can really relate to, rely on for help emotionally, all of that. I just like to be a presence for people. Don't want your money. TikTok, on the fucking other hand, they had a 50-50 split for us then. Okay, guaranteed. You know this. I don't have to fucking tell you don't already know. And it was a 50-50 guaranteed. Listen to me, man. I'm a trucker. I swear. I drop the C word every other goddamn fucking word, so I can't be trusted up there. I'm a hazard to myself, man. Don't let me get me. And when that ban came, that was tough, dude. I cried. I fucking cried. It was like the Titanic, bro. Like legitimately, it felt like the Titanic sinking. And this is funny. I don't know if you know this. Zozo's one of my favorite people. She's been a part of my channel for 5 years. She's been a soldier behind me, fighting for me. And she's like, always asked, George, do Just Dance on Wii. And I was like, fuck off. So we knew the ban was coming. And I was like, you know what, Zozo? It's your time. And I fucking danced off into the sunset. And every fucking account was just ping, gone. My chat went from like 40 to 50 people down to like 8 people that were all overseas. And they're like, guys, we're dying. And I'm just out here dancing like, please don't take my life. Dude, I'm like crying. I'm like, please don't do this. And all of a sudden, gone. Like, it was all gone. And I was like, I have to like think about where am I going to become an entity again. Thank God we had Twitch. But again, like we spoke about, that was pretty much ready to be grandfathered in. I was like, where do I go from here? So personally, that affected me because I'm like, for all my dedication to you as well and not moving to other platforms for growth, which I should have fucking done. And Jen told me a million times, don't limit yourself to one channel because you're really fucking yourself if something bad happens. They come back 17 hours later, and the only goddamn thing they changed, Andy, was the fucking payouts.
Really? Was that all it was?
That's for what I noticed as a content creator, right?
Yeah.
It went from 50-50 guaranteed split. No ifs, ands, or buts. You didn't have to work. It was a leisurely thing. You could do it at the rhyme and reason of your own household. You sit down. I have time to do this. I don't have to make it a job. I don't have to stay up 90 minutes and make 5 new unique followers. Fuck you for doing this to us because we are the reason you're getting paid, not you. So fuck you, little pickpocketers. So they fucking made it 40-60 with the incentive of getting 53-47 if we stay live for 90 minutes, 5 new unique followers, you meet your like monthly goal of subscribers, and that was only for you to get 3 extra percent. So if you think, do the math, Andy. If you made $100 on your stream, all that work got you $3 more. Yay! Like, fuck you guys, man. But here was my problem. If you get banned, they reserve the right to make it 20-80. You know how many times I made 20%? Because I was getting banned left and right.
Like, how long was that for? Like, was that just like a permanent? So, like, was it like every time you got banned?
Bro, it's still in.
Like, even with your current account?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit.
That's terms for fucking going live now. If you get banned, they can reserve the right to yank 80% of your income and you only make 20. And now here's the thing. Don't care about my aspect. I don't want the fucking money. But when you have some, and I'm going to name drop people that have changed my life here, K Fawner, Ted, Danny Daniels, all these people coming in and throwing galaxies, universes, interstellars, lions, leons, everything. And they're fucking working their dick off to fucking make this money to give to a channel for me and my family. Like, thank you. It was never for me, but now I'm sitting here hurting for you because you just unknowingly sent a $450 gift and $380 of it went to fucking TikTok. When you weren't supporting TikTok, you were supporting me. So their money's getting... That's real fair.
Yeah, man.
That's when I fucking snapped. And I'm not going to say the words, but I've called them Donald Trumps, basically, if you get the reference. Or fucking pedos because they're touching us all and like short people words and I fucking snapped. Okay, I just said you fucking pickpocketing blah, 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 on my live, and everyone's like, George, stop. And this is where it comes full circle, where I feel bad because not only did I sink my account, I sunk our account. I didn't do it alone. I had people I let a lot of people fucking let them down by not. You see me, I say whatever when I snap, and I just fucking turned into a dragon of hate, and I just went and went and went and went until I caught the ban that I was basically looking for, and I had a 7-day ban, Andy, and I went into the Discord and I was like, "Do I appeal it?" They're like, "Don't. You said a lot of dumb shit." I went and appealed it. They reviewed the tape, and then they perma-banned me.
Wow.
And that was that.
Yeah.
And I sit here to this day, and I am never going to say it wasn't my fault. It was 1,000,000% my fault. So what am I going to cry, or am I going to give up? I did for like a month, and then I came back stronger than ever and haven't looked back. We're rebuilding, and it's nowhere close, but I have the people that matter, and that's what's important to me.
Well, that was kind of going to bring me neatly on to the next point, because like of how different everything seems now with your streams, but there's also like somewhat of a more of a peace about it, you know, in terms of the environment, in terms of and you can sort of see that with yourself in whatever you're playing. Like, you know, obviously you'll have the Fortnite days where you're just going absolutely fucking ape shit, but like you can tell you're still, the frustration's there, but you're still enjoying it. You know, Mario Odyssey's a big part of your streams right now as well, and you know, like all these types of games, they do kind of bring their frustrations, but there's just like, I think what it is now compared to back then is, you know, whether it be 10, 20, 30 people, majority's all going to be the same, coming in and having the same kind of banter in the same way, and you know, like it almost feels like the community within your stream has never been stronger at this point in comparison to what you had, because you went through like a complete restart right from zero. And you know, when you kind of come from that point where you were, that's one of the hardest things to do, is to kind of, you know, and it may take however long it takes to get back to where you were, you know, if it does happen. But like, how do you personally feel about the differences between then and now, like within both yourself and streaming as a whole?
Well, to give you a really genuine answer behind this as to how much these people mean to me for never giving up on me, we were supposed to have a get together this in like 2 weeks here. What is it? The 17th? 11 days from now, we were supposed to go to Tennessee. And like I said, K-Fawner, one of the people that changed my world as a streamer, and just seeing undying loyalty, and then Troy and Brock and all these people that are there every day to make sure I'm okay, you know, not only just as to be entertainment, to make sure I'm okay.
Yeah.
Friends, family, people I will fucking proverbially jump in front of online traffic for if I had to, you know what I'm saying? When we were supposed to go to Tennessee, I had to call it off because some of the people that wanted to be there and couldn't, it affected me on a real level rather than just a streamer level. I'm not just a streamer, I'm a friend, you know? I needed to meet Kay Fawner because she couldn't make it. She wanted to go there, couldn't get the time off. We tried to work around it, and my brain just shut off and said, if she's not there, we're not there. It's a family fucking thing. If she said, I don't want to go, that's different, but she couldn't be there. And that's what family does. And that's what they did to me on the reset. So the people who didn't want to be there anymore and gave up on me, it still hurts. Yeah. It still fucking hurts. It's like many things came from the great old community, but I can understand why they didn't want to be a part of it anymore, because I'm a loose cannon. Maybe I wasn't the feel for them anymore, but the people that came and remained and are still here on the daily to make sure that I'm okay, my daughter's okay, even Jen's okay, you know, like everyone cares. And that makes me care. And I don't care if it's fucking 2,000 viewers like I used to have anymore. That's not important. It's the bonds that fucking have been built. It's almost like I've almost fallen into the love of an online friendship than going out and making friends, you know?
Yeah.
It's crazy what a lot of people can do in large groups. Not let each other fail, not let each other be emotionally distraught or have a bad day. Like, my DMs are always open, for both positive and negative reasons, but it's mostly positive. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'll get an influx of fucking DMs all the time when I've got so many people that will reach out when they see that I've physically been affected by something, emotionally affected by something. And that's the most important thing I've gathered from this journey. Like, and again, I can't stress it enough. And I like to say this so that people know I'm not fucking around. It's never going to be about the money. Thank you for doing it. I know that makes you feel good too, so I appreciate it. But just come in and say hello.
Yeah.
Ask me how I'm doing. And that's worth its weight in gold alone. I don't need anything besides our bond, our friendship. And that's where I feel like everyone should do it. You know, like it's personal, bro. Like I would have never fucking met you, bro, and you're my boy. Like
man.
you told me you're fucking writing a book, and I'm like, give it. Like George, let me know when your song comes out. I'm getting it. Like this is bros, man.
That's
and you ain't gonna
it.
get that fucking any other shit. That's that we got lucky.
Absolutely, dude. Because like the connections that you can make, you know, I think sometimes it takes going through, you know, adverse times to sort of realize what's important. Like, you know, and I went through the same with this, but because I think, you know, in the, you know, in your sort of situation, you know, kind of when the numbers changing, you know, the community changing, but you realize what everyone's here for now in comparison.
Right.
It's like you go from being a source of entertainment for some to, you know, you whittle all that down to all the people who are there for you as a person. Because no matter, and one of the unique differences about yourself as a streamer is that no matter what you're playing, the same people are turning up. You don't often get that with a lot of people. A lot of people, a lot of viewers, and I you know, and I'm not trying to talk shit on viewers because they're entitled to their own time and all. They're entitled to their own opinions and what entertains them. People are fickle. People will say they want to stay around, but then they don't because they realize that, yeah, I'm actually there for the gameplay. When it was, you know, they say that they're there for as a person, they'll not like what they're playing, so they'll be like, I'm not interested. That kind of changes the whole dynamic, you know.
Absolutely.
And I particularly liked what you said about the meetup, that, you know, the fact that not everybody could be there, so you canned it. And that's another unique thing because, you know, when you hear about streamers doing meetups, it's a sort of, this is what works. You know, if you can't make it happen, you can't make it happen.
Right.
That, I think, what you've done is essentially sort of separate the sort of streamer kind of dynamic, streamer viewer dynamic with we're a fucking family here. We're a we want to do something together. Like, it doesn't matter if I'm at the forefront of it because I'm the one streaming here. That doesn't matter. Call that a hub for everyone to just kind of get together.
You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, you know,
I'll be the face of the community, but we are a community.
Exactly.
It's not because of me, it's because of us. If I don't have you, there'd be no me. There'd be no this. I can't take all the credit. I can take a little bit because I'm the guy on the camera. That's it.
Yeah. No, man. Like, and that was honestly, like, as a streamer myself, like when I did it, that was one of the more painful lessons I learned, was that, like, you know, when you have your initial community and after 6 months to a year, you're like, fuck, this is it, man. Then things change and you kind of realize what you really were to some people. And it's like, yeah, like you said, it fucking hurts, man, doesn't it? But like, I kind of think it opens you up to bigger and better things with the right people. You know, I 100% do believe that, you know.
I think a monumental moment for your podcast too, if I touch on another reason why, and just own my shit, because I'm not sure a lot of people will do this. So let me throw some spice onto the bread here, bro.
Okay, I mean, I'm all ears, dude.
I feel like this is just a moment to just show that we're also people with emotions, families, and mistakes in our hearts sometime.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say that just that TikTok blow up to lose my account was the end all be all of what made me lose the interest and love of certain people. So I think that this is fair for me to get off my chest for any viewers, watchers, listeners. I also made mistakes. I was using TikTok for my own infatuation with certain people, you know, like I think a big core of what people originally saw. Okay, so let me just roll this back to like the beginning. People understood when I went live, I was a Mario streamer, and this is where it all changed. I love Jen. I'll always love Jen. We're not together right now, but I will always love her. She's the mother of my daughter. I wouldn't have had a daughter. I wouldn't have found real love in this life if it wasn't for her and Gigi. I was streaming Mario in the fucking birthing unit of the fucking the hospital the night before Jen was due, which was May 9th of 2022. On May 8th, I was streaming and speedrunning Mario in the actual Jen's over here in the fucking bed having contractions, and she's like, "Do it. Be there for your community too. You're here with me." It was such a fucking power couple for like 2 years. And I think people loved that. And that fell apart. And I've not quite been myself, if I could be honest with everyone here. Own my fucking shame. Like I talked to other women. I got an ego here and there. I've been a fucking shitbag. Like, I'm gonna own it because I'm not gonna sit here and think that I'm not the problem. I am a fucking problem. So when I lost a lot of these viewers and family members, I consider them fucking people I'd still wish I could talk to. I understand why you're gone. I'm not going to question it. There was something there that was magical for a while, and I took the magic away. And that's not fair. I was a selfish asshole. Still kind of am. I haven't really changed too much, but again, I'm a good person at my core. I'm also a selfish person sometimes. I'm not afraid to admit that. So I don't want it to just be about what SoberPsycho was. I want it to be about what George was too. And I literally don't want people thinking that I think I'm perfect, because I'm very fucking far from it. Let that be in the air. I'm sorry that a lot of that could have trickled into what we had. So I need to learn and get better with that aspect. But with that aside, at the end of the day, I know what I represent as a person, and I know what I carry in my heart and in my mind. And when I have the best of days, you see me glow.
Yeah.
And there's still days where I'm just not perfectly okay. I have my off moments, but I swear I think life is always a work in progress. You can't be on all the time. You just can't. So
definitely, because you make the one of the best points you can make is, as streamers, you're people too, right? And everything that you admitted to there, absolutely so big of you to admit. Very proud of you being able to do that and using this as a platform to do that. Amazing. I love that. And I think it's just testament to the kind of awareness that, as a person, if you're in front of a camera, you've got to kind of, as much as be yourself as much as you possibly can, but also you have to shield and protect yourself. But sometimes things kind of think.
I didn't do very good at that. I think it's the family aspect that I'm a great father and I was a great man for Jen and all that. But when I wasn't great, it showed.
Well, this is the thing, because like these little things can kind of trickle through, and it kind of comes to that sort of streamer viewer dynamic that we talked about, because the viewers are always going to want to see, they want to know what to expect from the 2-3 hours a day that they have with you, and that is what you're playing, how your demeanor is, and whatever the fuck else, right? I didn't really count that in my head properly.
Person too, because I think that's a big part. And when you find a love and a passion for somebody, you don't want to see them fall apart. And if they're there for that reason, they were never in your corner.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Emotional growth never stops, Andy. It never stops.
No, absolutely.
It might stunt for a day or two. It depends on your emotions. That's real talk.
Yeah.
Like I said, you can't always be on top of your game. And that's not meaning like your personality, your persona, your alter ego. No, it's life. You're not always on.
No.
That's impossible.
Absolutely not. And I couldn't agree more. And I think, when you are in that kind of position, when you're in the public eye, that's where you kind of notice it more, because of other people's perceptions, your viewers' perceptions of you, because they will be the first to notice that something is not quite right. And then also that can be the sort of deciding factor for whether somebody comes back or not. That's how cutthroat the dynamic is. You have one bad day, you do not come across as how the viewers perceive you to be as yourself.
The wholesome view goes out the window, and it's
Exactly.
like some people want to there are people out there that like to idolize the idea of somebody, and when they see that they're human just like you, that kind of star power can just dissipate. You're gone. You're just another Joe Schmo who has a camera in front of him, which I'm okay with. I'm not bigger or better than anyone.
Yeah.
I have my own issues. I have my own lives. I have my own bills. You know, like it doesn't change.
That's it. And I kind of think that like sometimes that idea is like lost on some people. The fact, because it's like, yeah, just because you're on a screen, just because, you're playing a game, you're not a TV show,
Right.
If depending on what you want to get out of it personally as this kind of figure, be that TV show, but be a person first. Have, live your life first. Do
absolutely.
Yeah, you're gonna live first,
Yeah. If you think that you're higher and mightier than anyone else, you just might be doing this for maybe not the wrong reasons. Maybe your reasons don't co-align with mine, but it's for me. I like being just me. I don't want to be some fucking reality star on TikTok. I just want to be me and hope that was good enough in the end.
Of course, absolutely. And I think the only person who can really kind of decide that is yourself. And obviously now you're finding your groove into what it is you're doing now and everything. Let's kind of rewind it back to the beginning here, because it was originally meant to be music, as we kind of sort of mentioned in the first place. But your your time playing music goes back way, way further than streaming. You've been in bands before, your music videos, you've shown me these, and these are all the fucking incredible things. And but this is sort of spread into your streaming and stuff, but in such a different light to what you're playing. So let's talk about your music career, going back, playing in those bands, and sort of where it's led to today.
Oh yeah. I mean, origin story is, and I'll make this one just a quick one-liner. 4 years old in front of a piano, just knew something was there. The beauty in my heart resonated through those keys, bro, and it just changed me. But yeah, I mean, when I was like fucking, I want to say, oh God, I had moved when I was 14, so it had to be before then. So I'll say when I was 12 or 13, my best friend bought a karaoke machine for a birthday party in the back of his house, and that's when I knew I wanted to be a showman. Like that was kind of it. We were singing, three of us off-key little fucking voices, singing fucking Backstreet Boys in the back with all our friends, and it just clicked. I was like, this is fun. I like this. And then I took music way more seriously. I realized back with dial-up, bro. I'll never forget. It was dial-up AIM, bro. And I had some fucking fuck you money to the side. I bought my first keyboard, and I started just practicing daily. And I realized I didn't know what I was doing, but if it sounded right, that's all that mattered. Like what sounded right to this. And dude, it carried. And dude, if I could have been a sports athlete, that would have been number one. But music was right below it. And I found myself realizing the older I got that this was just so out of reach.
Yeah.
This is a small window, and so is this, but I had to be some freak athletic nature. So this kind of happened. And then I realized my love and passion for music and the ability to do it at a good level. Like, I think a very good level. I like to toot myself a little bit. I think I know a lot about music to know what's passable,
Yeah.
Fair. That people can relate with, rather than just clinging on fucking trash cans and screaming. Like, that's music. Sure, it's up to the listener. But to me, I thought I just had a very good mainstream sense. So, and dude, it just took off, and like the beauty in my heart just shines through the keys. And when let me just throw this in here. That's how I really fucking fell for this guy. This motherfucker right here. Don't just act like we just bros, like talking out, like you are fucking an actual bro, because you sit there when I'm working on things that are passionate to me, and you sit there and you listen and you chime in and you help me get better at what something I'm passionate about, and that makes you a fucking brother. Andy,
Yes, George, I got it the right way
Andy!
this time. I got it the right way.
Dude, like literally, fucking, you came in, and that's why I have such a bond with certain people like you, Sir T, Strugs, fucking Bryce, Juan, and like fucking 50 others that will trickle in and out. It's not just the games.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be there for my real passion, which is music. Like video games, you could be the most talented video game player, but you didn't create it. You just took
Yeah.
what was created and perfected it your own way. Whereas I'm creating. I didn't create the piano, of course, but like I'm creating the structure of how it's being used for me.
Yeah,
And
like the
my
output of it.
creativity
Yeah.
shines better there than it does on a video game, you know?
Well, yeah, because I think that the difference there is like you. I mean, I think you can say you can put your heart and soul into a video game, but really the output's always going to be the same, if
Yep.
not similar. Whereas
Yep.
you put your heart and soul into your music, then the result is different every single time, and it's going to resonate
Absolutely.
differently. It'll sound, resonate, everything will just be different. It'll hit you emotionally differently. And like, I mean, thank you for what you're saying before, dude, because it's a shared passion, because music's something I've always been, writing music and, locking it on my iTunes on my 2011 MacBook, but that's not the point right now. But
Uh,
yeah, I think it's like, I mean, it's just such a great thing to like. It's such a great thing to share with the world. Is just like the sort of power of music, the power of creativity, in terms of doing that. And
right.
one of the bands you were in, like I think the one you showed me some music videos for, was like a new
Yeah.
metal band, was it?
It was like hard rock. If I could like say who we sounded, it was first off, we were called the King and Wait.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. The first 4 years or 3 to 4 years, I would say we were more like, God, geez, like well, people considered us to be Christian rock because I refused to swear at first. Now, when I said that, I was like, okay, watch this, fuck, and then I swore in the next song. I wanted to just differentiate that. I wanted to be like a Breaking Benjamin, 3 Days Grace, but we
Yeah.
were more with a Switchfoot vibe, where it was kind of like
Mm-hmm.
not super hard rock, but he was like right there.
Yeah. A
Um,
little bit of
and I
groove in the
love,
mix as well.
yeah, it's like more melodic than it is metal. And then as time comes and goes, oh, I had a kid, I gotta go. My family's moving, I'm moving to Florida, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And just you cycle and cycle and cycle through members. The core members stayed the same between me and Billy, the main vocalist, the main guitarist. We stayed the whole time. And that's when the Too Many Chefs in the Kitchen came into play. And I really liked the direction we were going. And times were still kind of where they were, but the writing changed because we loved Garrett. Garrett's incredible, but he was more of a metalhead.
Yeah.
Sugar shit. You're like, what the fuck? This isn't going to correlate. And maybe we can. And we tried. And we started writing songs that were just so much heavier that I had to start changing the way I sang.
Yeah.
Uh, I loved it. Let me tell you something. It was incredible, but I'm a little bitch boy, and I could not sing like that nightly. And I blew my voice out on the fucking
Oh
regular.
man.
The songs got better. They got better, but I couldn't be your front man at that point. I had to either get something where I was really trained in my craft, but your fingers can cramp up, so don't let me undermine the fact that like your hands, your wrists,
Mm-hmm.
but like using this goes away a lot faster than anything else.
Yeah. Agreed.
This to the untrained muscle will just be gone. And there's been a million times in a show where my voice cut out. Song 3, I'm out there saying, I'm sorry, I sound like a bag of dicks. Like letting the audience know that I knew I was down. And it really carried more of a dark cloud over my head the moment we changed. But you can't progress if you don't try and get better at your craft.
Yeah.
I
100%.
realized I might have had a glass ceiling as a vocalist. So I had to just say, I might be the person holding you guys back. I quit. Wish I didn't do that. And I went into pop and I started writing the songs that you hear now.
Yeah.
I mean, being older, finding the time is not really the problem. It's finding the passion because I feel like I really derailed what I was supposed to be. And I think I still wear that fucking too heavily on my shoulders. I can't let it go. I do, like, I'm at peace with it. But at
Yeah.
the same time, it's like, dude, I really shouldn't have given that up. And now I just do this all the time. And I'm still super passionate, Andy. Still love it. I still, when I fucking put on my fucking songs, even though I like not mine, but like Day Seeker or Bad Omens,
Hmm.
the way that that can just take me and take me out of an emotion and put me in a new one. That's why I can just never give up on music.
Yeah.
I may not be all in like I say I want to be, and that sucks, but it's all in on me. I can't go a day without listening to a song. I can't not think about music every day. It just doesn't mean I have the willpower to just sit down and work on something. I got to get better at that. And that's a problem.
I completely get you, man, because like it's one of those things where because obviously you would put like, oh, when you're playing music, you'll stream it a lot of the time at the same time because
Yeah.
it's a
Like to have
good
you guys there.
time. Yeah, like it's a good time to just sit and connect with people and just like, I mean, I know I fucking love the music streams. I can tell you that much. You know this, and
Yep.
but I 100% get what you mean because it's one of those things where it's like, okay, I've got two options here. I'm going to go live. That's the sort of the only result that's a certain right now. Do I
Yeah.
just go for the easy option and just playing the game and shooting the shit, or do I, and that's this. It's a very difficult situation to be in because it's like it's very clear where your real passion lies, and it's like, but it's I get what you mean. It's that you have that fear, like, is this gonna be a bad day? Am I gonna sort of like not really
Right.
kind of get any further where I want to be? And I honestly
Right.
think, like, doesn't matter if you don't progress in a certain day because you'll
Right.
have always got that maybe 1% difference in terms of, like, if you're writing a song, right, and you sit there for an hour and a half, you don't get past the first verse.
Mm-hmm.
I think the best way to look at it is that, yeah, you didn't get past the first verse, but you had the 80, 100 attempts at trying to figure it out. You know that that's where you don't want to go. You've
Right.
narrowed it down by so much
Yeah.
that that's progression in itself. And, but
Right.
like, I know hindsight can be a bitch sometimes because you look back and think, should I have done this? But I mean,
Right.
the question is then, like, had you stayed in the band, where did you think you would be now in comparison to where you are now, right now?
The new band that he created is right where King and Wait kind of. Well, honestly, I think we took a step back because
Yeah.
they're all older now. So I think they want it less than me. I think they're okay with being dads and
Yeah.
stuff. And in my heart of hearts, I love being a dad. So I get it. I'm right on board. It's my favorite thing that ever happened to me. But I still kind of want to go and be on stage and
Yeah.
fucking have people understand that this is why I was put here. Like, I think I'm wasting that, but I know that I was made a certain way to be a musician. Like that, obviously, I wouldn't be one if I didn't feel it, and I feel it. And I think a very important thing about life is what legacy you're going to leave. Right?
Yeah.
Do you want to be remembered as X, Y, Z? I want to be remembered as a dude who can make you laugh, cry, make you feel things, while doing that with music as well. Not like good personality meets good musician. That should just and make you feel all the feels in separate ways and pull you around. I like to take you for a ride, you know what I'm saying? But um to tie in the idea of a streamer, this might make sense to a lot of people that do this. When you are a streamer and you see that, it's hard to like word this properly, but when you go live, when I play, say, Mario 64 and not do music, I will do that so that I can be there for them.
Mm-hmm.
It's not there for me. I like to play the video games, but guy, I've played Odyssey 75 times in a row. Like, you know, You think I'm not bored? I'm enjoying it, but I'm there for you. Talk
Yeah.
about your day. How are you doing? How's your kid? How's this? I am locked in with my family and having a FaceTime call while playing and being appealing aesthetically for Mario. We're all there. It's like D&D night. Let's, like, how's Kevin? How's Beth? Like, when I get into music, I'm not paying attention to the chat.
Yeah.
And if I am, it's because people are throwing ideas that correlate to what I'm now in the moment doing. I'm fucking in my zone and they're contributing. So that viewership just goes whoosh. Because you have to realize that when you're a streamer, this is going to sound ridiculous, but it's very true. People who talk in your chat, a majority of them just want to be noticed.
Yeah.
That is what it is. They want to have a place to belong. They want to know that you care. That sometimes it's for sad reasons. Sometimes it's just to see that the friendship is mutual. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to be Mr. Best Friend when I'm locking in on something that I'm just throwing all my attention at. So that's why the music streams, I got to also separate and say, I'm not being Mr. Attentive to my chat. That's why my streams are not going off without a hitch with fucking music and they do Mario. Because when I'm playing Mario, it's like, highly dolly, dick pics in the DM, like fucking, like I'm just being an idiot. Whereas if I was doing that with music, I wouldn't, there's no way.
Yeah.
It's a whole different passion. So with music, I have to also remember that there are people like you and many others that sit there and want to see me as a person explode my brain elsewhere. And you get an insight of what I am, and that's you guys giving back to me. Mm-hmm. My music streams is you guys giving back to me. And that's why when I see you guys there, when I fucking see you, Andy, it's a whole different level of love and respect because you're letting the tables flip and you're saying, we're here for you today.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So that's why it's so important to me when I go, and it's hard not to get worked up, when you see the numbers drop, but I totally get it. I get it. It's hard to give your time up for somebody online, and be like, we'll be there for him.
Well, that's it. And, and every, like, because you're giving up your time to go online, but then other people are also giving up their time. And there's no sort of, you can't compare people's time with, but it's like when you're on our side of the screen, you really kind of do think the viewer's time is more important because you're the one trying to retain that. But you also have to understand what the viewers are there for. And like, sometimes, like you say, you just have to accept that what you might be doing, and this is really a lesson to anybody in the kind of public eye like this, like, you just kind of have to really take it on the chin and accept sometimes that what you're doing in that moment is not going to be a fit for somebody else. But as soon as they see you doing that thing that they're there for, they'll be back. So viewers are, like, it's so easy to just say, oh, viewers, they only care about one thing. But, like, it's their time, too. Like, they are people just as much as we are. I think this sort of, the lines get blurred when you look at sort of the whole community thing sometimes. And
1,000,000%. I'm not saying, like, the community myself. I'm talking about, like, new people, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
yeah.
They want to know where they fit in, too. Like, there's a zillion different channels, Andy. Like, hey, I really like the vibe of this. Can I come in and be a part of this? Or, hard to do that when I'm not giving you my focus and my time. So that's why the music stream pulls people out. He's not paying attention to chat right now. This is not going to be for me today, know?
Exactly.
So I need to also understand that. So that's why, again, as terrible as it sounds when I say, people want to hear their name or be appreciated, it's like, but it does. It resonates. Like, if I go into fucking, me and Bryce are best friends. Like, I fucking will die for that kid, and he'll just be like, George Cadevra. I'm like, yeah, there it is. Get me, Bryce, Daddy, get me. Like, it does make me feel good. Even as a fucking streamer, it's nice to hear and be appreciated in whatever way it is, the bonds that you create. So it is nice and a breath of fresh air to see, I am here. I am appreciated. Yeah. My time is not just me as a viewer. I'm here as time as a person. So
exactly, man. Exactly. Like, our real lives, our real day to days can be hard enough at times, and like I know watching streamers, you know, and having conversations with people from across the world, it's something that years ago people would have thought like, what the fuck are you doing? But it's such a great escape. It's such a you realize how much in common, you know, how like-minded you are to so many different groups of people that like it's just such a nice escape, and it really is just such a, you know, it's one of the better things to come out of like people being glued to screens these days. And I kind of think it's like, you know, you have these things where it helps your creativity breed passion and just really build connections that you might not get in like a local real life sense. And it's, you know, it's, I know it's something that up until sort of a few years ago was incredibly frowned upon, all this kind of like, but
Oh,
now
real life.
it's something that it's a connection that sometimes people need more than ever coming to life, and it's such a beautiful thing.
It is, and you don't know what anyone's ever going through at any given time. Like, you could try and put yourself in other people's positions, but you're never there. So sometimes you're just that getaway that somebody needed just that day, or you
Yeah,
know, the family that was never there is now here. Do you know how many times I'm sure you've heard it? I'm sure as a million of us with a million different communities have the power to change lives, and we don't even know it.
exactly.
It's crazy, especially like to touch on, come full circle again, the username of SoberPsycho. You know how many people came in here and still do? How are you sober? How can I do this? And I won't ever say something that doesn't make sense to me. I will always be there for them because I know if they're asking that, they need to know.
Yeah,
They want to know. They deserve to know. I won't have all the answers that they want to hear, but I can at least tell my story and give them a blueprint on how I did it, you know, and a lot of that also came from just the name. The community came. I had so many people when it first started. Sober Psycho. This guy is my people right now. I want to get sober. I want to do this. I want to do that. So, and that's what helped me realize that paychecks aren't important. Human lives are important.
yeah, for sure,
So,
absolutely. Like, you know, and that's just how powerful that kind of level of connection is. You got
right,
somebody who they see sober, they see the word sober, and they're just like, yeah, that's what I need to be. That's like a sort of,
right,
it's like a calling card for somebody. And you know, like you said, everybody has their own battles. Everybody has their own story, and
right.
you know, for anybody out there, you know, you're in the right place at the right time. These connections will come your way, and it's just kind of it's scary sometimes about how effective it can be just on this sort of human condition, you know. But George, it has been a absolute fucking pleasure having you on behind the camera. Thank you so
It's so
much. It's been
nice.
an amazing chat. I'm so glad we finally got to do this.
Yes, sir.
Just before we wrap up, I know it's probably going to be fairly obvious, but I would just like to give you the floor to plug yourself and let the listeners know where they can find you online.
I mean, just the way that I could think of it is if you're looking for some music that's up your alley, like we jam, we vibe, we write some pop music, we write some hard music. We it's a vibe. If you like realism and you like people that cuss and will call you fucking names with all love and no malice, we're the ball busting crew, bro. And if you're taking it at heart, we know when to turn it off and say, hey, listen, we went a little far. We are a fucking community of love. We are a community of respect. We just want joy. And at the end of the day, if I could sum up everything that I've been doing, and if it's up your alley and you want a sincere plug, I'm just a stupid idiot who likes to have fucking fun, who will never say something that's not fucking predetermined or pre-written. I'm off the fucking cuff. I'm just direct, sincere. And if you're looking for somebody and you're feeling lonely and you need a community to pick you up from the pieces on the floor, you're never going to find a better community than this. And I know firsthand because they do it for me all the time. So, realism, laughter, off the cut, like fucking genuine people. You're gonna find it right here at the Sober Psycho fucking community, and I think that speaks for itself. And I didn't need to say it, but for anyone that's new, just If it's for you, come knock on the door. And we're going to call you a fatty, turn you around. Just kidding. Get in here. Give me a hug, brother. This is how we're
Absolutely.
made.
Yeah. Definitely give SoberPsycho a follow. And especially if this conversation spoke to you in some way, you know, if you like music, video games, just, I can attest to everything George has just said, being a part of that community. I'm so grateful to be a part of that community. And yeah, like it's a very, very welcoming place with some amazing people. So, yes, but once again, George, thank you so much for your time. It has been an absolute amazing conversation.
One last thing. Don't hit that power button yet.
Oh.
Hang on. Okay. Buy the fucking book. Buy it. If you're a fucking streamer and you want insight of what can be in here as a streamer, buy this book, okay? Life Changer 2. This changed me. You were in my own brain when you wrote this. I want you to know that. Just, even if it's online, just buy the fucking thing. This is incredible. I needed to do that because that is a very genuine fucking book to how I feel. And you did a great job. And I love you, dude.
I appreciate it, man. Love you, man. I appreciate that. That means the world, honestly. That's going to be the thumbnail of this episode. Yes, George. Thank you very much, man. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you for the opportunity to even be myself on your podcast.
Pleasure,
it means
man.
the fucking world to me.
No, it's my pleasure, dude, honestly. And thank you.
Oh, thank you, dude. And everyone, go show love to my boy. Hold on a second. I knew it. My boy Andy over here. Fucking camera. Also follow my boy Andy right here behind the camera podcast. Make it happen. Thank you for everything, dude. I love you. And I'll see you in my live in about 20 minutes.
Absolutely, man. And there you have it for episode 107 of Behind the Camera. Massive thanks to George for an amazing conversation that was honestly a long time in the making. It really means a lot to both myself and to Behind the Camera. As always, thank you to all patrons for your support. You're all truly appreciated. And of course, if you would like to stay connected with Behind the Camera, check out my link tree in the description for all socials and my book, Behind the Camera, The Journey So Far, which is out now. Thank you for listening, for the support, and for being part of the journey. Until next time, take care, stay creative, and I'll see you soon. But until then, peace.